So Ken, let's talk about Tequila Avion. You have your first ever advertising campaign out now.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Well, it's one of those things I tell people, you know, a company our size, while the perception is that we're already selling 1 million cases of Avion around the US, it happens to be that we're still a small company and I still treat it as a startup. But going on TV for the first time for a brand of our size is something which many people have said to me, it's almost borderline insanity. But it happens to be, it's so counterintuitive and it's so disruptive, and I call it marketing innovation. Not about product, but about consumer innovation from a marketing perspective. We came out of the gate and we're coming pretty hard, where we are now on national TV.
Why was now the right time to do it?
Well, there were a few reasons. First of all, I don't believe that you have to wait a long time anymore. I think that given the consumer dynamic, from social media all the way through the way young people, a 21-year-old today thinks a lot differently than when I was 21. They're much more progressive. They're actually much more sort of in touch and in tune with things that are going on in society and trends. And for us, our distribution, we're in 50 states now. We partnered with Pernod Ricard, the co-leader in the world in the wine and spirits industry, who we allowed to buy a small stake in the company. And we sort of have the army now, on the ground. Why not go in and start shooting?
So you're targeting that core 25 to 34-year-olds?
Yeah, it's really, people say 21 to 34. For me,
okay,
this is an ultra premium product. It's really 25 to call it 40.
Okay.
I'm in my 40s now, so I don't want to yet say that I'm out to pasture, or my age group is, because there is a lot of tequila, ultra premium tequila consumption coming from people in their 40s and their 50s. But we're going narrow and deep as it relates to a 25 to 40-year-old.
So let's talk about the actual creative in the TV spot. It's seductive. It's a little racy. It'll get people's attention. So talk about it. What were you going for with it?
Well, first of all, we wanted to be disruptive, and what we did was we took a step back and we said, what are companies doing within the drinks space? What is the voice? And they're all pretty much doing the same thing. Their lifestyle, people in bars, scenes, sort of all look and feel the same in many ways, and then you just see the beauty shot of the product. And we said, you know what, there's a story to be told here, because tequila, first of all, even though we're ultra premium, tequila is fun. So you can actually push the envelope a bit with tequila versus other categories where you must be pristine and proper. That was the first thing. And we said, you know what, we're not going to apologize for actually being different at Avion, because we are. We're a disruptive brand. We're an innovative brand. The other piece of it was that women actually consume about 50% of tequila. And no one has really paid homage to a consumer that actually consumes 50% and also has incredible buying power. Roughly 65% of the buying power comes from women. So to pay homage to women was important to us as well. And while it's unique, there are certain things that you can't do within beverage alcohol from an advertising perspective. We believe that we should abide by those guidelines, but we also feel that we need to be relevant. And in our deliverable, the actual storyline where we talk about pain has its place, which is really, if you think about the double entendre, but really people perceive tequila to be painful.
Absolutely.
And you go into a bar and you see people, men and women, doing shots, getting the night going, and they're all making that tequila face, which my goal with Avion was to create the greatest tequila in the world that actually didn't deliver that experience, which we've done.
And that comes through very clearly in the ad.
I'm glad to hear you say that, and you see it on Twitter where people are writing about it. That's me, And when you see the situation that we put there with a couple, and she actually comes over and he smells that product, and just the whole vibe of it, it's very relevant in just today's culture. So while we push the envelope, we did it, we think, in a very, very smart way, where your mind goes one place and we're saying another thing, but they all converge at the end, and you're left with a very good feeling about this brand, which is really what we want to epitomize, because we still are an ultra premium product and we didn't want to be cheesy.